Okay, good morning children. How are you all? Have you remember our last class? What is the name of our lesson children? Yes, living and non-living things. What is the name of our last lesson children? Living and non-living things. So once again we recollect all the points which we learned in the last class. In the last class you already learned what are living things and what are non-living things. And not only that, you also learned the features of living things. I will write all the features again on the board, then you can easily remember. Okay, tell me all living things can move, all living things breathe, all living things need food, all living things grow, all living things can feel, all living things reproduce. So these are the different features that all living things can show, whereas non-living things cannot show or cannot perform. So already we completed living things can move and living things breathe. Let's move into the next feature, that is all living things need food. All living things need food. Okay. Are you taking food daily, children? Yes. Why are you eating food daily? In order to live and to grow. Can you live without food, children? No, we cannot live without food. And from the food, what you will get? You will get energy. And that energy helps us to work and to play. And every organism or every living thing need correct or a sufficient quantity of food to stay healthy. Now tell me children, why all living things need food, children? Yes, all living things need food to live, to grow, to get energy, to stay healthy, to stay healthy. And different living things, they have different methods of getting food. Different living things, they will have different methods of getting food. For example, take plants. Plants are the only living things that cannot depend upon any other living thing. For example, see. So plants can prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight, in the presence of sunlight, water and carbon dioxide. And chlorophyll. Most of the leaves are green in color because they have a green pigment called chlorophyll. Most of the plants are green in color because they have a pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, so plants are the only living things that can prepare their own food material with the help of sunlight, water, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll. And this process of making food in plants is called photosynthesis. That process we call it as photosynthesis. What is the process called, children? That process we call it as photosynthesis. So plants are the only living things that do not depend upon any other living thing. That plants can prepare their own food in the presence of sunlight, water, carbon dioxide and chlorophyll. And most of the leaves are green in color, children. Why? Because the leaves contain a pigment called chlorophyll. So this entire process of making food in plants, we call it as photosynthesis. What is the process called? Photosynthesis. Then what about animals? Animals cannot make their own food material. Animals cannot prepare their own food material. They depend upon other animals or plants for their food. So animals cannot prepare their own food material like plants, just they depend on plants or other animals for their food. For example, if you observe animals like cow, goat, sheep, they will eat only grass or parts of a plant. Therefore, these animals are called herbivores. Herbivores or plant-eating animals. Plant-eating animals. Okay, children. Animals such as cow, goat, sheep, they eat only grass or parts of a plant. That's why these animals are called herbivores or plant-eating animals. If you observe some more animals like tiger, lion, leopard, they will eat only flesh of other animals. These animals eat only flesh of other animals. These animals, they won't eat any parts of plant, just they eat the flesh of other small animals. Flesh of other animals. Therefore, these animals are called flesh-eating animals or carnivores. These animals are called carnivores or flesh-eating animals. Flesh-eating animals. And some other group of animals are there. They will eat both parts of plants and also flesh of other animals. For example, animals such as bear, human beings, crow. They will eat both parts of plants as well as flesh of other animals. Flesh of other animals. Such animals are called omnivores, or plant and flesh-eating animals. Animals such as bear, crow, human beings, they will eat both plants as well as flesh of other animals. Flesh of other animals. Therefore, these animals are called omnivores or plant and flesh-eating animals. eating animals. Okay, so these are the different kinds of animals and their eating habits, how they will get food. These three types of animals, there are herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Then what about non-living things, children? Have you ever seen your toy eat food or drink water anytime? No, that means non-living things do not need any food or water to live and to grow. Clear, children? This is all about living things need food. Again, shall I revise all the points, children? Yes. All living things need food. All living things need food for what? To live and to grow. And from the food, they will get the energy, and that energy helps us to work and to play. And all living things need correct or sufficient quantity of food to stay healthy. Clear, children? And plants are the only living things that do not depend upon any other living thing. Just they can prepare their own food material with the help of carbon dioxide, sunlight, water and chlorophyll. And the process of making food in plants, we call it as photosynthesis. And animals are the only living things that depend upon other animals or other plants for their food. And you already learned three types of animals: herbivores, carnivores and omnivores. Herbivores are the animals. They can eat only grass or parts of a plant. And examples are cow, goat, sheep, etc. And some animals like tiger, lion, cheetah, leopard, they will eat the flesh of other animals. That's why they are called carnivores or flesh-eating animals. Okay, and some other group of animals, they will eat both flesh and also the parts of plants. They are called omnivores or plant and flesh-eating animals. The best example is human beings. Next, let's move into the next feature, that is all living things grow. What is the next feature, children? All living things grow. Living things grow. Living things grow. All living things such as birds, plants, animals, human beings, they grow. While growing, they can change their shape and size. While growing, they can change their shape and size. For example, a puppy grows into a dog. Puppy grows into a dog. A kitten grows into a cat. A chick grows into a hen. Clear? So all living things can grow. While they are growing, they can change their size and shape. And after certain period of time, all living things can die. After changing the shape and size, and after certain period of time, all living things can die. All living things can die. Okay, for example, if you plant a small, if you sow a seed in the soil, from the seed you will get a small baby plant. That is seedling. From the seed you will get a small baby plant called seedling, and this seedling grows into a small plant. And after certain period of time, it develops or it changes into a very big tree. It changes into a very big tree. Clear, children? If you sow a seed in the soil, first the seed changes into a seedling, and later that seed changes into a baby plant, and finally this baby plant develops into a huge or big tree. Clear, children? Okay. Once you look at this picture, here the butterfly initially it lays eggs, and these eggs develops into a caterpillar. These eggs develop into a caterpillar, and this caterpillar was fully grown. It stops eating and it will change into a pupa. It is one of the stage. The caterpillar changes into pupa, and from the pupa finally it develops into a beautiful butterfly. Here, children, first the butterfly lays the eggs on the leaves, and these eggs develops into caterpillar. When the caterpillar is fully grown, the caterpillar stops eating and it will finally changes into pupa, and from pupa it changes into a beautiful butterfly. Clear, children? Similarly, in case of frog, first the frog lays eggs. The frog lays eggs, and these eggs develop into tadpole. The eggs develop into tadpole. Tadpole is nothing but a baby frog. A baby frog. And finally, this tadpole changes into adult frog. Adult frog. Same in case of human beings also. So first the human being. Take human beings. Baby boy or a girl. Baby boy or girl changes into young boy or girl. Young boy or girl, and finally they will grow into a adult boy or girl. Adult boy or adult girl. Clear, children? Then what about non-living things? What about non-living things? I have duster in my hand, right? Can this duster grow day by day? No, the duster will not grow day by day. I have chart in my hand. Does this chart grows day by day? No, it cannot grow because this duster and this chart comes under non-living things. That means all non-living things cannot grow, whereas all living things can grow. All living things can grow. Clear, children? Clear, children? All living things can grow, whereas non-living things cannot grow. So all living things can grow. All living things can grow. Example, human beings, plants, birds, insects, all living things can grow. Okay, so non-living things cannot grow. Non-living things cannot grow. And while they are growing, they can change their shape and size. While they are growing, they can change their shape and size. And after certain period of time, they die. After certain period of time, they die. So this is about all living things grow. Let's move into the next feature, that is all living things can feed. What's the next feature, children? All living things can feed. All living things can feed. All living things can feed. All living things such as human beings, plants, animals can feel. Whereas in case of plants, they can feel in different way. They can show their feeling in different ways. Most animals, including human beings, they can feel with the help of their sense organs. So already you learned in your previous class how many sense organs are there, children? There are 5 sense organs. How many sense organs are there? There are 5 sense organs. Now tell me one by one. Eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. These are the 5 sense organs. Animals and human beings, they can feel with the help of these 5 sense organs. For example, how do you feel when you touch any hot or cold object? You feel hotness or coldness, and immediately you move your hand from that particular thing. For example, when suddenly a pin pricks you, what you will do? You will feel the pain. You feel the pain, and you immediately take off to move your hand from that particular thing or object. For example, when your parents gave a wonderful gift on your birthday, how you will feel? You will feel very happy. So feelings such as pain, happy, sadness, angry, these are different types of feelings that all living things can show with the help of their sense organs. Animals also feel the pain. They will show happiness, they will show pain. For example, when you caress a dog, it licks your hand. And wags its tail. The tail means, wagging means here, moving the tail to and fro. So when you care for your dog, it licks your hand and it wags its tail. That means they show some sort of feeling towards you. Clear? Whereas in case of plants also feel. For example, sunflower plant turn its face towards the sun. Sunflower plant turn its face towards the sun. So turning of its face towards the sun is also one type of feeling shown by the plants. And when you touch, already you learn mimosa or touch me not plant. So when you touch the mimosa or touch me not plant, it immediately droops or folds the leaves. This folding or drooping is also a type of feeling shown by the mimosa or touch me not plant. For example, lotus plants, so many plants, they can fold their leaves. They can fold or they can close its petals at night time. Plants, they can fold or closes its petals. Closes its petals at night time. At night, closes its petals. Plants such as lotus, jasmine. So many plants, they can close its petals at night time. This is also a type of feeling shown by the plants. Clear, children? All living things such as human beings, plants, animals, they can feel. But man and animal, their feelings are different when compared to the feelings of plants. And all the living things, they can feel with their 5 sense organs. Total we have 5 sense organs: eyes, ears, nose, tongue and skin. And with the help of these sense organs, all living things can feel. You can feel pain, happy, sadness, angry, anxiety. These are all different types of feelings shown by all living things. Then what about non-living things? If I hit this duster, Does this duster feel pain? Does this duster feel pain? No, the duster does not feel any pain because it is a non-living thing. If I prick this book with a needle, can this needle feel pain? The book does not feel any pain because it is a non-living thing. If I gave any gift to this book, does this book feels happy? No, because book is a non-living thing. So all non-living things cannot feel, whereas all living things can feel with the help of their sense organs. Okay, and the last feature, that is all living things reproduce, we will discuss in the next class. So today we completed 3 features. Today we completed how many features, children? Today we completed 3 features. What are the 3 features we completed, children? Living things grow. Living things grow. Living things need food. Finally, living things feel. Can feel. So we completed these 3 features. Still one more feature is left, that is all living things reproduce. We will discuss in our next session. Thank you.